Hey dudes, about 2, maybe 3 months ago now, I was pointed towards this game over on Twitter. It's called Intruder, and after watching its developer vlogs on their YouTube channel, which I'll link in the description, I decided to stop on by their forums and idle in their IRC, since, it looked kind of neat and I wanted to keep tabs on it. When I got into their IRC channel, the developer, Rob of Superboss Games, asked me if I actually wanted to see what they had currently in action, and I said sure. So we played a few rounds. I believe it was an impromptu event, and it actually left a pretty good taste in my mouth. The game in its in-dev form was actually kind of rad, and all the neat tools and the vlogs and stuff actually kind of worked nicely to provide a cool experience. If you wanted to be like a super secret agent dude, you could, which Rob himself was quite fond of being, which I guess is understandable as he's the one making this. As for me, I am a bit simple-minded. And I just wanted to spill as much blood as quickly as possible, even if it's my own. So I was probably a little disadvantaged, but, I still had a pretty fun time with it. So before I continue with this, though, I would just like to stress that this is all still in development. It looks rough, there are bugs, diamonds start as rock, stuff like that. So starting with the tools I mentioned, I think it's kind of fair to start with the firearms, as it's probably going to be the thing you're using the most. Each player starts with 2. The first is a suppressed pistol. It's difficult to hear, all the usual suppressed stuff. And the second is an unsuppressed submachine gun, which has a fire selector allowing for semi-automatic, burst, and full auto fire modes. There are also long rifles with scopes, but the players don't spawn with them, at least not in the game mode I played, which I'm kind of cool with. There's 2 of them stashed in the level, and 1 is near each team's spawn. Probably the next most important thing to mention is the radio system, as you'll be using it quite frequently. If you're familiar with the mod ACRE for Arma 2, it's actually similar to that, though a bit more simplified. There's a local speech, which anyone can hear regardless of team, and there's talking on the radio, which only your own team can hear. To speak on the radio, you simply pull it out and fire it as if it were a weapon, which I actually don't mind, since switching is near instantaneous, if not instant. When you speak on the radio, you actually also transmit locally as well, similar to ACRE. So if you speak too loudly into the radio while you're too close to someone on the enemy team, they'll actually be able to hear you. The distance you can be heard from speaking also increases or decreases with how loud you are speaking into your microphone. Though I would like to maybe see an implementation similar to ST ACRE volume control, which I'll also link a video of in the description. After radios, there's hand signals, which are pretty simple to do. The hardest part is really just knowing which hand signal correlates to what command. A rather cool thing about the hand signals is how, when you open your menu, your character actually quietly snaps his fingers so that anyone immediately nearby, like really close, will know that you're about to give a hand signal and they can turn around and see the command. The next neat tool is a portable camera on a stick. They're kind of a big deal if you're a sneaky type, and they do pretty much exactly what you think. You can use them to look around corners, over walls, etc. One thing that Rob evilly seems to enjoy is setting a trap with explosives, peering at it with his camera and waiting for some poor player to come across it. So yeah, there's also explosive charges you can plant and detonate. You can also toss concussion and smoke grenades.
Smoke.
Now, about what you just saw there, beyond hit points, there's also a balance system, and basically the more you are moving, the less balanced you are. So explosions, being shot, stuff like that will cause you to lose your balance, and players can also push other players down, which some people do to constrain or incapacitate their enemies. Once you're knocked down, you'll stay on the ground until you choose to get back up by pressing your jump key. You can feign death if you would like, but it's a bit foolish to attempt since there's not really anything keeping the attacker from, shooting you again until you die. You can also check the vital signs of a body that's on the ground. Another tool, one that I haven't personally played with, but I've seen others use, is motion sensors. I don't know how they work. Like I said, I haven't used them, but I believe they just, give you a notification that something has crossed in front of them, as would be expected. The final tool that comes to mind right now is the Lockpick. There are plenty of doors that are unlocked at the start of every round. You don't need to unlock every single door, but there are a couple that, when unlocked, grant different access routes through the building. or different entrances to the building. And about the building is actually quite nicely modeled in this map, with creepy crawler vents and everything. From an aesthetic standpoint, one thing that I actually quite enjoy about the building is how it looks like it's used. Like, a lot of games just have big, empty, unlived-in rooms, and that's kind of like a pet peeve of mine. This one, there's like computer desks and stuff. It doesn't really change gameplay too much, I would say, but, well, no, you can hide under the desks, but it looks nicer to me. It's something I like. So anyways, once a door is unlocked, you simply open it and close it like any other door with your mouse wheel. It's very similar to the push-pull system from Raven Shield. So aside from those, the only other tool of note right now is one that can't really be carried with you, and that's security cameras. In Building 1, which is the attacking team spawn building in the game mode that I've played, there are both cameras and security monitors, and they update real time and whatnot, as you would expect. Now, as for the teams and their objectives, the game that I played plays a bit like Capture the Flag, but with both flags being controlled by one side. There are 2 teams, defenders, aka guards, and attackers, also known as intruders, who are of course the namesake of the game. And the guards must defend 2 briefcases that are on their side of the map in Building 2, and the intruders need to breach from their side, Building 1, to Building 2, and then exfiltrate back to their starting building side of the map with at least one of the 2 briefcase packages. As for how they get there are 5 main routes between the buildings. Those are garden or truck, which is a shrub-filled area. Then there's water or docks, where players, swim through the water to the other building. There's bridge, which is basically a death trap. There's the roof. You can run between the 2 buildings across the roof of the bridge. And there's vents, which are air ducts that travel underneath the bridge between the 2 buildings. The exfil points are specifically located behind the truck in the garden area, and the second one is on the docks by the water. So yeah, that's been a look at Intruder by Superboss Games. If this looks like something you'd be interested in knowing more about, by all means, stop by their website and YouTube channels. Both will be linked in the description. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you later.
You got him.